late at night here at South Los Angeles, and I had something on my mind that I wanted to share with you. Now, not to beat my own chest or anything like that, but I just feel that in the area that I live, that there's a place for people who like to beat their own chest or have their followers do that for them. I think we miss the fact that this community in which I'm a part of has many unsung heroes and contributors and servants of the community. For example, many of you look at me, you know I write books, and if you're a student, you know me as Mr. Chapman, right? Lots of other students over the years also know me by the same name, Mr. Chapman. But they also don't realize that I was a middle school baseball coach, a YMCA sports coach, counselor, camp counselor, that young man at 17 years old who read poems at a campfire, mainly dealing with youth programs, coaching, served food to the community, all of these things. And I'm very proud of what I've done. But I've also am not the only one. A good friend of mine who unfortunately passed away 3 years ago and who got me started with the Y also served his community and he was a part of it. He did amazing things. I can't tell you everything of what he did, but he would serve his communities. In fact, he served two communities here in Northern California and in Southern California, where we are now. And then there are other people that I've met along the way who don't have fanfare, who don't have a big crowd. They're the ones who volunteer their time, their efforts, their bodies. They're the ones who are making a difference. Maybe not in the total community, but in the small patches of neighborhoods in which they live. And these are the same people that I write about. Why? Because these individuals who are selflessly contribute to the community do it without fanfare, the claps, the applause from the crowd, but they do it silently in their own way. Many of us get caught up in the crowd. We get caught up in a person's accolades in which they become famous for it, and they should. But there are those who do it just because they feel devoted to the community, or quite simply, it's the right thing to do. These are the individuals who should be awarded. These are the men and women and others that should be applauded. But no, they live their days just simply doing what they have to do to make things better. A former neighbor of mine, who, again, older gentleman who passed away years ago, was not only the owner of, or actually He was a landlord of an apartment complex not too far from where I live. He lived a good life, him and his wife, and he was an outstanding man in his community, involving himself in the neighborhood. I would One day I passed by a meeting he had with people of a certain apartment building across the street. He was busy. He was well known in the neighborhood and took time to speak to this young man. And I, I would just say that I lived in a neighborhood where men and women and others who really cared about this patch of South Los Angeles wanted to change the perception, the negative perception media placed upon us. And all I can just say is that, again, they didn't have an office building. They didn't have the media following them with cameras. They just simply did what they had to do because they felt it was the right thing to do. And I miss people like that. And my friend who also contributed and did his part, I miss him too. But that's the thing about people who contribute to the community. When they're dead and gone, no one even remembers the sacrifice they made. No one puts plaques or banners, or there's nothing for any of us to remember their contributions by. We remember them only in our minds and the impact they made on our lives, but that's about it. There are no lasting structures to say, this person did that, or that person did that, or that person made a difference in my life. They're the ones that we should really honor and just say thank you. As myself, yes, I've done a lot, and I'm very proud of what I've done. But I'm not going to fool anybody and just say that if I wasn't writing books, no one would even care. And that's just the way life is. Those of us who do what we can, we do it because we feel it's the right thing to do. And we're not looking for the accolades. We let the tongues of others say all the nice things and all the great things for us. But for the ones who moved on from this earth, who are no longer with us, but made a contribution, thank you. Thank you so much for making this part, this community, so much better than what it should be. And it's because of their time and effort and sacrifice that we should raise a metaf- raise a glass to them. Metaphorical glass. We should raise a metaphorical glass, give a toast, bow our heads, and be grateful that they were in our lives. They weren't the politicians, they were not the community activists, they weren't any people like that. They were just regular people like you and I, trying to make that difference. And we're always going to try to make the difference because we also care. We also matter. And that's it. If you liked what you've seen, please subscribe or have a hit the like button, make a comment if you feel so inclined to. I'm an author. My books are on my website in the description or in the banner above. But all I can just say is I thank each and every one of you for watching this, wherever you are, wherever you may be. And again, I want to wish you each a good day, evening, week, whenever you're watching this. And always in closing, take care.